before I go into that break, are very interesting pictures of President Biden of America coming straight up to Narendra Modi during the summit, the G20 summit in Germany, seeking him out, tapping him on his shoulder and speaking with him. These are the pictures, viewers. We're going to just put them on. There you can see the Prime Minister, Biden, coming straight up and saying hello. While the Prime Minister is speaking there with the Canadian Prime Minister, let's focus on these pictures. If my assistant and colleague can do so, there it is. There you can see, viewers, at this moment in time, you have the Prime Minister talking to Trudeau, Justin Trudeau, and then you will see how suddenly Biden comes out from the back and starts speaking, in fact, to India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi. We're going to try and get to those pictures. There they are on your screens. It just takes a few minutes to do that. That's the whole sequence, viewers. Let's go full frame to those pictures. Let's boost the net up. There's Justin Trudeau and the Prime Minister speaking. Biden comes from the back and taps him on his shoulder, on his left shoulder, and says, hello, Prime Minister, how are you? There you can see Biden coming straight in, tapping Prime Minister on his left shoulder. The Prime Minister takes a step up, greets President Biden. They both have a quick exchange before they go inside for the big summit meeting. So this was just a few seconds before, in fact, the photograph was taken, the group photograph, where the Prime Minister was in the extreme right. Also, we saw right after the group photo, viewers, the President of France, Emmanuel Macron, coming up to the Prime Minister and having a word on the sidelines. Quite a protracted conversation as they both walked in to the summit meeting. And then we saw the Prime Minister seated. To his right was the Japanese Premier, and to Prime Minister's left was Emmanuel Macron of France. So during the conversation, during the summit meeting, we had Macron on Prime Minister's left, and of course the Japanese Premier on the Prime Minister's right, and the Prime Minister sandwiched between them at the corner of a table. So this was just moments, of course, before that, when President Biden comes up and says hello, especially seeks out the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. That's the beautiful interaction between the two leaders. This is a very powerful club of nations, viewers. The G7 obviously extending on to G20 this time. Energy, climate change, big meeting. India occupying, of course, a top position now because its economy is almost tipping to becoming the 5th largest in the world. It was, of course, the 5th largest in the world before the COVID crisis, and just a little bit before that when there was a bit of a slowdown on account of demo and GST. There you can see Macron speaking with the Prime Minister, putting his hand on the Prime Minister's shoulder. The Prime Minister reciprocates that gesture. They had a pull aside, really, that went on for about 2 or 3 minutes. These pictures speak for themselves. India's rising stature in the world means that even when there is some discomfort between the US administration and the Indian government on issues such as human rights, etc., Biden believes that the Prime Minister carries a great deal of weight in the world. Biden believes that this is a relationship that they must actually focus on. I'm going to split those pictures. On the left, Biden coming up, seeking out the Prime Minister speaking with Trudeau. Suddenly, guess who walks in? President Biden of the United States touches Prime Minister Modi on his left, signals to him. Prime Minister spins around, meets with Biden. They exchange a few pleasantries. Prime Minister steps up to get closer to Biden, Biden being very tall, of course. And then there is Justin Trudeau as they get ready to stand for a photograph at their designated. And then that's the photograph. And there you can see it. Right on the left of the Prime Minister is Justin Trudeau. And then, of course, Emmanuel Macron, the special connect. He comes up and says hello to the Prime Minister also. And they have a tete-a-tete right after this. There you can see him. Everyone else has moved in. And Trudeau and and Macron and the Prime Minister then speak for a little while before they all go into that big meeting. Big moments here, and you can immediately make out, viewers, how things stand in the world. Who is in whose corner? Who is aligning with whom more? Who wants to seek out the other, for what reason? So this all comes through in meets such as this. India's growing strategic economic heft means that a large number of these P5 countries will be very keen on having India on their right side, quite literally. I want to go